There we go. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome.
I think they're moving a little slow this morning. They don't want to get into these topics.
Yeah, today we're gonna be talking all about dating, in particular, dating in our 30s/40s and above. I know the last time we had this talk, it was a lot of older, like married people who've been married longer. Jason, what age were you when you got married?
I think I was 25.
Yeah, see,
I think I was
y'all got married
25.
in your prime in the 20s and stuff, and I'm just trying to figure out like how y'all feel about like the dating pool for us single women and men if you're single out there, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna get all up into it. Let me see. What's up, Jaggeroni? Almost homesteaded with Janet is first, and then we got CC to second and third. What's up, Sunshine and Renaissance Grandma and everybody who's out there in the bushes? So I was talking to Jigs a little bit behind the scenes to see because well, hey Butler Family Farm. I guess I'll put my perspective on dating and then I'll ask Jigs, is there hope for us out here being our 30s, 40s, established and finding love out here? And y'all can answer too. Welcome in everybody who's coming in. Also, I see Jones Truth, Laura's Garden, David, James Money, everybody's coming in. So for me, I don't know. I'm not aggressive. I don't think I'm aggressive. I think I am a dominant woman. I don't think like me in my 40s, I don't see love out there for me anymore. Like people I've been down here giving my phone number out to people my own age and they still I don't know. It's just weird. So I don't really believe in love anymore, but I'm open to, dating and finding maybe somebody can prove me wrong, but I don't see it anymore. If I feel like if you aren't married in your 20s in your prime and you guys grow together, I don't see love happening for me. How do you feel about people?
Well,
The
let me
single-
back up just for a second, Miss T.
okay,
You don't. I don't know what your beliefs is in God and all this, but this I can say: He that finds a wife finds a good thing.
I agree
You
on
see,
that.
you out there giving everybody your number, this, that, and other. Even when I was 25, uh, Germany, Korea, Hawaii, all these other things, and I was living my life, a wild life.
Right.
And I remember when I was 23, I told my grandmother, I said, I'm tired of this. I'm ready to get married. And the only thing she said is pray about it, pray about it, pray about it. So I guess I did do some good praying because 2 years later, that's when I met my wife.
Right. So then,
And
but what about the people who are 30 and 40?
but see, that's what I'm coming to right now. Even though you're 30 and 40, you should still ask God to send me a husband that will suit you or be the man that you desire or whatever. You should still ask, send me the man that you say I should have.
Okay.
But you don't do no preconceived. God bless me with a good loving husband.
Okay. Uh,
40, 50, and even 60 years old. There's people 60, 70 years old getting married. Their mate been gone for a while and they're still getting married. So anybody can find a mate. Correction. Anybody can get married at a later age.
okay. Let me see. Sunshine says she's curious of what you mean by what wild means when you say you were wild. Let me see. And Cece said,
None
yes,
your
you
business.
find love in your 40s. Are a thing. That's a good idea on these. Thank you, Butler Family Farm. I'm like you, Missy. I'm 62, so I feel like my time has passed for love.
No. The time for love is never past. The point is it's what you're looking for. And I don't 62, I think you still could get a good man. But it takes two You got to have the right mindset.
Okay, Jones True says she got married at 40. So my question is, when a man approaches me and he's coming correctly, I give him my phone number. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can go hang out, whatever. I get these irate text messages like, I want you, let me come to your house, and what? Like, no. So, like, you was like telling me about the phone number thing. Like, how else do you talk
Like
to
I,
somebody besides like giving out your
like
phone
I
number?
said, you pray and ask God to send you the right man.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm saying like when the people approach me, don't give them my phone number. Is that like what you're saying?
Well, let me do it this way. When I met my wife,
Hey, Ann.
30 minutes after I met her, I asked her to marry me. And I said, "What's your number?" She wouldn't give me her number. I didn't get her number until like a week later. So just because the man asks you for your number, that don't mean you give it to him right then. If he's
Well,
really
maybe I'll see him again.
if
Well,
he's really interested, he will
okay.
find a way to contact you. Or if you're in the store, whatever, depending on where he live or whatever, he's gonna find you. Like I said, excuse me, my wife was in the church, and I attended her church every so often.
Okay.
But then I also had an auntie that also intermingled, and that's how we actually met.
Okay. I want to say hi to official Jamia. Believe Butler have Family Farm has some questions on beekeeping, and then so now what is saying that's right. A man that is a husband should recognize the qualities of a wife within you, the woman. That's I agree with that. And Sunshine said her aunt got married. She was 80 and she got married last year. Congratulations to her.
Okay. What did I say for you? You got a chance, Miss T.
Now that's saying a 1 in a million uh, chance. Like I'm telling
If
you, my thing for love and marriage is just like womp womp womp. It's like it's not believable anymore until
well,
somebody proves me wrong.
Miss T, marriage don't just develop. You have
That's
to work on a marriage.
That's true. I can't even get past the dating part. So even
Well,
marriage is like,
you, you don't get past the dating part because you want to make sure of what you got, and you want to make sure you ain't just being like some women just get married to say I got a wife, or dudes say it's. There's one lady I could say she got married just to basically say she got a husband, but
yeah,
uh,
I have a friend like
to
that.
me, to me, they don't really show husband and wife entry unless people around. But other than that, when they're by themselves, that husband don't be acting like a husband.
Right, right. I definitely agree with that. Don't want that. David Coy, the cropper 62 rides over the cartwheels. Don't turn as easily. Back in the day, men had to work to get that phone number.
True.
And then she's like, that's back in the day. That's old game.
Well, see, that's the problem, she, because you want to go to this new game, and the new game ain't working.
Mm. Good morning. So now what? Dolores Teagsy saying good morning.
Hello, hello, hello.
Part one. Very interesting perspectives from the guests in the chat. Yeah, I want to address this real quick because I got some emails after that first live. Remember the one we had the other day?
I
And
was
I got
gonna say something
emails
like that.
on it. Yeah. So it's your opinions are always valid here. It's always valid. Nobody's gonna think of you a certain way. It's just everyone's opinion on how you feel. Like I'm speaking my mind, Jigs is
It's-
speaking his mind, everybody in the comment section is speaking their mind. There's no wrong answer. It's just, advice. What
right,
your thoughts are.
right. Uh, to be truthful, nobody's here telling you go get married, get this man, do that. No, we're not doing that. The point to it is, this is just conversation, and if you're looking for a man or a woman, this is a chance for you to learn some things that you can say, okay, I want this in a man. Let me look for this. Let me look for that. You look at certain qualities that, okay, this is your mate.
Thank you, Butler. I appreciate it. Uh, the third marriage in 3 years, and she's over in her 70s.
Hmm.
That's awesome. Didn't find my
And
husband.
and then now let me back up. When she said three marriages, let's be serious. One of them may have died. She didn't
Right.
say all that, but one may have died. I've got an uncle. He's on his third wife right now. First one died. He went and got another. Second one. The only problem is he don't wait long. He get married less than 30 days after the wife passed.
If you're open for it, I am open for it. There's still like a small little piece in my head that's like, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I know Jones True said she met her husband. They got married at 40. I'm 43, so I'm just like, I think the older I get, and I keep coming across, I don't know, just anything. It just like it decreases my chance, my belief in finding love. That's just my opinion,
Well, what? How that song go? You find love in all the strange places.
right? They eliminated the vetting process. You know what the vetting process is?
Venting.
Sure.
I guess that's that. I don't know.
Speak on it, Jones. Good morning. She said, D dropping them dimes. The older you get, the more difficult it becomes. That is where I'm at. That's D. If you don't mind, how old are you? Do you know how old D is? Like, I mean, I'm just curious. Like, is he in the same situation? I think he said previously he's married. So, but yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, he passed away 3 years ago. She's been married 3 times in 3 years. Okay.
See,
Hey, Jet, how you doing? Morning. Happy Friday. Fantastic Friday,
good
she said.
morning. Good morning.
Looking for love in the wrong places. I be sitting there
Right.
minding my business. Like, how am I in the wrong place?
You- The way I don't know, but like you say, I'm a little old fashioned. The way of presenting yourself, you come out, you go to the store, you come out, you're just out there shopping, and somebody see you. So and then also the way you present yourself as well. If you present yourself as a easy catch, or you got too much thighs and back and all this other stuff showing, you're gonna actually attract the wrong people.
Okay, that's a good statement. I appreciate that, Jakes, because like I like crop tops. I like leggings. I like that stuff. So are you telling me like I gotta dress like a nun? Do like, I don't.
No, I'm not saying dress like a nun, but when you go out, you dress appropriate. I'm not gonna tell you your dress got to be past your knees. I'm not gonna tell you have to wear long sleeve. I'm not gonna tell you got to wear a round collar instead of a V-neck with cleavage on. I'm not telling you that. It's
Okay.
the individual, but you have to do things modestly. If you have something in mind that you want, you have to dress according to what you want.
Okay. Not true to David's statement about 62. 62 today is not yesterday's 62. Don't get it twisted. Lots of flexibility and stamina in folks.
Tenfold.
And D said he's 52, single for over 6 years. Yeah, I've been single for a good minute.
Uh oh.
Um,
Do we have a connection in here?
uh, RLM, welcome in and happy Friday to you. Why do people think that marriage is the best way? And Jones True said, drop that link. Okay. So why do people
No,
think that marriage? That's a good point because I'll be hearing all the time, we're going to find you a man, Savannah. We're going to find you, like, why? I'm at this point, like,
no,
why do I even need a man? Like, I
no,
understand
it's not.
grass.
It's not that. It's not that. It's marriage is not for everybody. Marriage is
Agree.
not for everybody.
Agree.
So therefore, I put it this way: it's easier to survive this earth in two, but one is a struggle.
Okay.
Even being married, there's a struggle, but you make it through because both of you are working on it, not just one.
Mm. Almost homesteading with Janet got the definition is basically emptying all the pee out of the dating pool. Okay. Rejecting the men who are not marriage material. See, this is what I come into. Like the other day, I went to a bar, had a drink. I'm just chilling, minding my own business. This guy came to me all godly, like, you know, I, I'm too old to be out here in the streets, and I'm just looking for somebody to hang out with and chill. And I'm just now starting to go into church and all this stuff. Everything was fine and cool. I was like, okay, he sounds decent. Let me give him my phone number. This After I left the bar, I got these texts saying, "Oh, I want you. You look good." I'm like, "What? The the devil in sheep's clothes? Like, what are we doing here?
Miss T,
What?
Miss T, Miss T, Miss
Yeah,
T. He talking about church, and you met him in a bar.
I know. Well, hey, I believe in God. I went to the bar.
But hold it now. Hey.
It
Things
was
that
just
whatever
yeah.
brings a red light is a red light.
Hey, Jones Truth, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss Jones? True.
The opportunities
How
and
you
places
doing?
to meet like-minded people are harder as well. Agree. I can agree with that, D. How you doing, Miss Jones Truth?
How you doing? I'm just listening. Like I said, believe it or not, the game is the same, but it's maybe a different level. And the level is this: is okay. Let me tell you something. What I've learned, and I watch people. I watch young people and stuff like that. Usually, the ones who attract the men are the ones who's a little more hard to get.
Okay.
Hard to get. In other words, if you see, this is a challenge. This is also a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
If you're someplace and someone approaches you, don't be so quick to get the number. Just say, maybe I'll see you again and leave. Guess what? If he's really interested, you will run into
You
him
will
again
see. Yes, you
and
will.
you'll see him again. In other words, again, what did last time we talked? Remember, I said be a mountain? I was a mountain. I talked with my husband long distance on the phone, but guess what? He did not get my phone number. It took him 2 weeks before he got my phone number. And by then I had to see him face to face. It wasn't that I wasn't interested. I was interested, but I it's like, okay, is this real or is it not?
Okay. Let
When
me
you
say hi to a couple people real quick, and then so hi to coolest gamer, girl dad, CC Texas Garden State Hall, and then CC's talking to Jags. Why are we getting dating and marriage advice from somebody who's been alive longer than we have? Uh,
I might have been alive longer than a lot of people, but guess what? I bet if you add up the years I was single versus the years I was married, it's equal.
Pretty
It's
much.
the same about the same amount of time.
okay.
So what I'm saying is, and I've seen it. I've seen young women in places where they give dudes their phone number fast. To me, here's what and if I'm wrong, you a man, Jakes, just let me know. To me, if you give a man a phone number immediately, as soon as you meet him, in his mind, he's going, "Oh, this is gonna be easy."
Mm-hmm.
Now that's just my opinion. It's gonna be easy. See, remember you said you gave man the phone, and the first thing he talked about, can I come to your house? Can we get together? That's no, no, no,
So okay, let
They
me ask
don't
you a question. So
uh-huh.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, um, I met this guy at the grocery store. I did not give him my phone number, but he bought my groceries and stuff like that, and we just I don't know. Fire just keeps coming in here like you need to find that man again. Like, what if the man that I'm
No,
supposed
no,
to
no. You don't need to find him. If it's meant, he'll find you. Trust
He'll
and believe.
find you.
It's
okay,
one thing
so
about it. If men want something, and there's a man sitting here, if a man really wants you, he will come and find you.
He gonna work on it.
You don't have to make it easy for him. He will come and find you. You need to
I
know
just
what
start
you
telling
want.
people no.
See, the reason why you don't give him your number so fast, if you see him again, that will give you time to assess him. I'm sorry, you cannot assess a man in one meeting. What looks bad might be good. What looks good might be bad. Do you understand
Tenfold.
what I'm saying?
Tenfold.
So
Okay,
you
I
have
just
to
start
have
telling people no.
an assessment. You have to have an assessment period. Okay? Like, okay, look at it like this. When y'all go shopping in the stores, you don't always buy that first dress you see. You go and look around, see if maybe there's something better. When you shopping, you sometimes take your time. Well, why can't you do the same thing with your relationship? Because you want the right one to fit the right way, that's going to do the right things for you.
So my question is, SCC, why
Okay.
can't we just give out the phone number and then just try to do the assessment there instead of this?
No.
That might be a bad thing,
No.
giving him your
Part of
number.
your assessment is how bad does he want to see me again? That's part of your assessment. And if you see him again, and then you say, okay, maybe I will. And the first question, if he say, can I come over your house? Now let's talk on the phone. We'll talk. Just call me. You call me. It's an assessment period because you got to see how he reacts to situations. How is he reacting to things? By meeting them on Monday, seeing him and jumping in the bed with him before through Wednesday come around. What I'm saying is, you okay? Let me wait. What challenges have you given him? You've given him nothing. Absolutely.
Well,
A man of value. A man of value will not have any problems with the challenges. A man of value. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, let's see what you want to come up and say. Hi, welcome in.
Hey.
Mhm.
Hey. That comment was at J3. I was
I
skimming.
see.
I know that.
I knew.
And go ahead.
Well, as a person there in their 40s, and it is a lot different than it was a while ago. I'll just put it like that, a while ago. And dating is definitely different than it was. A lot of people don't go out. A lot of people get Instacart, that kind of stuff. So a lot of grocery shopping and things that used to be the way that you would meet somebody is not the same. And so there's a different approach on how, I mean, yes, moral wise, it should be kind of the same thing, but dating wise, it's a lot different. And, you know, a lot of times people, if they given their number, then you can always block them. You can always, you know, so there's different ways. You might not see that person again. They might have been in the area, you know, that one time, but talking to them doesn't mean that you're going to just jump in the bed with them.
Yep. Giving him your phone number and telling him where you live so fast. That's how a lot of folk coming up dead too. Because you don't know. Be careful. You have to be careful. Look, let me tell you something. Dating in my 20s was different than when I hit 40. Trust and believe, it was still different. You're talking about a 20-year gap. Dating was different, but yet it's still possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but if Jags, let me ask you this question: if you see a woman and she's real eager to give you anything and everything you ask for, do you consider her quality, or do you consider her easy, or is she just a booty call? Let's be real.
That's the real one. That's the real word right there.
Let's ask Sheed as well, since he's down here being quiet. Somebody give you their number easy. They're easy catch. I'm with Cece. Like if it don't work out, I just block you. And
right.
But see, the thing to it is, that's too much for you to know. Just to have that number. Okay, you ain't gonna always remember. You're gonna block them, but that block gonna come off at some time.
You don't have to. I still got people blocked to this day.
The damn bacon. Quick answer: if you like them, you will reach out. If they're interested in you, they will find a way to respond. It ain't that hard.
True.
My thing with the not giving the number, it has pros and cons. Like CC was saying, like prime example, there was a nice lady I met at a grocery store one time when I was driving trucks in Alabama. I go to Alabama all the time, and them 2 times I went down there were probably 4 or 5 times I've been to that same place. I only met that lady 1 time. So it wasn't that easy to find her again. And this was the bad part. It wasn't no we meet up at a grocery store. She worked at the place that I went to. And just so happened, every time I went down there, she was never there. So it's like,
Mhm.
well,
Because
how am I? I
you went
gotta
at the
try to
wrong
get
time.
somebody else. You say what now?
You just went at the wrong time.
But that's
Oh,
the point. Things happen for a reason. Just like y'all saying, if that man really wants you, he'll find you. I tried to find her. It wasn't meant to be
True.
Yeah,
because.
exactly, exactly,
But that's the
exactly.
thing. Like you're saying, hold back.
mhm.
And what if it was the right moment in the right time?
Right,
Just because you give somebody your number, that don't mean you're gonna sleep together. That don't mean you're gonna be lovers or y'all gonna go into this whole relationship.
right.
Everything is a friendship starting off anyway. You should approach it like me. Like I told my wife, I said, I only date with the intent to get married. So once I actually know your character and we talk and we start like socializing about family, and then I start going to the approach of dating. Other than that, ain't no reason for me to, deal with you if you got some type of morals. Like my wife, she laugh at me when I tell her this. I said I pretty much never took a loss in dating because when the lady start acting a certain way crazy, I head for the hills. I cut off the relationship because my thing of it was
Yes, I did.
I always thought if I have a kid from this woman, how would this be out? Every woman I dealt with, that's the first thing that came to my head. How would
Well,
she
that's
be
good
a
because
good
not
mother to my
everybody thinks. I mean, it's a
No,
good thought, but everybody don't think that way. But
But
that's
you know
good.
right,
what?
right.
Actually, he's just proving my point. Because the same way these women should be vetting, these men are vetting. He said, you did hear what he said? He said,
Hmm.
if she started acting crazy, he was out the door. So
Mhm.
there's still a vetting process from both sides, how you present yourself and how he presents himself. So there's still a vetting process,
And
even if we meet.
another thing is when most of us are in our 40s dating, some of us can't have any kids anymore. Tubes tied, you got grown kids, you might be in your 50s, 60s. So having a kid is not, something that you're worried about having, you know.
Right.
yeah.
I just want to say hi to
So,
Stay Hawk. She came in
because
here and see what she had to say real
you,
quick.
you trying to say because you can't have kids, it don't matter. You could just date anybody then.
No, it's not saying that, but if that's what you're thinking that you got to stay with somebody because you get them pregnant, doesn't
No,
that, you know.
that was a
No, no,
misunderstanding when I was.
I was
Oh,
just
okay.
bringing that up.
Oh, because
Not
I
Can
was just
everybody
saying
say
with
hi to
that.
Stay Hawk? Can everybody say hi to
Stay out
Stay Hawk?
doing.
Hello,
Hey,
stay
hey,
home.
Hey, how y'all doing this
Hey,
morning?
girl.
All
All
right.
right,
good.
girl.
So, y'all know me. I just came up because the thing is, we talk on a lot of like a matter of fact type terms, and it's going to be different for everyone. When you meet the person that you're supposed to be with, there's going to be a different kind of connection. And I don't think it really matters when you give the phone number. I don't think it matters when you sleep with them. I don't think it matters whatever. When
Huh?
the person is the person, is different because they're going to present themselves like, I'm not saying do this the first day, do that, but it's just different for everybody. I know people who have slept with somebody literally on the first day, couple to this day, and they have been married for 32 years. It's just a different connection. Of course, that's not what I would advise to any of my clients or say, but all my thing is there's no hard and fast rule. And in my opinion, giving your number to that guy the first day is not the reason why that didn't work. He was a creep. So it was good that you went ahead and gave him your number. So then you knew right out the box how he was going to be. And so you could block him and move forward because mentioning church and all of that, that was just a part of his game. He was going to do
Mhm.
what he was going to do. And so to me, as you get older, I'm about knocking them out the box quicker. I don't have time to be dealing with nobody for months and trying to get to know
Mhm.
them. And is he going to show back up? I want to have these conversations. I want to give you my number because I may only talk to you once or we may talk forever. But the older we get, we know quicker in those first conversations, in those first meetups, whether or not we want to waste our time because we're more mature. We should have had enough experience that we can pick up on certain vibes, whether we know if we're going to waste our time or not. So why play it out and have this long vetting period where your maturity and discernment should let you know up front, okay, like you did, Miss T, okay, this dude is a clown, block. Whereas if you would have kept meeting up with him, it may have took you too long to find that out. So have those conversations. I mean, give your number and block them. Don't tell them where you live, but give your number.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And
thanks
that's
for that, Stay.
I want to say real quick. A lot of times in relationship, this goes on both sides. When you meet somebody, they're giving you the representative. They're
Mm-hmm.
not giving you the real them. They're giving you the loving, kind, caring person. Just like you said, that guy was talking about church. People can relate to that. A person that goes to church and being somewhat of religious and God, they're coming off as a kind, nice person until you know the true side of them. So that's everybody shows the representative until you actually get to know them. So the more you start talking to them, you open it up.
I'm sorry, we got hella questions out here, so I'm trying to. So Bacon wants to know define a man with value, y'all. What is the definition of a man with value? A good man.
Again, I think that's going to be different for everyone because different
Yep.
people have different standards of what it is that they're looking for. And so that's why it's so hard to make any of this a black and white. What makes me feel like a man has value may not be the same thing that another woman sees as value. And that's why, everybody is not for everyone. Again, I have friends who are happily married to men that what I look at and what I hear them talk about, I could never deal with, but it works for them. And I'm sure the same thing. All my friends, I'm sure they don't want Wallace. You know what I mean? So it just depends. You just have to make sure it's twofold. You need to have your standards. You need to have your non-negotiables, but you also have to be realistic. And you have to think about what you're bringing to the table as well. Don't look for somebody to check all your boxes. Make sure that you're checking all your boxes and that you're entering into a relationship with someone who can enhance and complement them, because sometimes we go wrong with this tall, dark, handsome, 6 figures, no kids, good relationship with his mama. That kind of stuff is not necessarily what's going to be value. It's about how he presents himself and treats you. Do you feel safe? Do you feel valued? Do you feel heard? Do you feel appreciated? Do you feel secure? That's what should be most important.
Mm-hmm.
Gigi said she wish she had time to come up here. They've been together 37 years, slept together after 2 weeks, and they are still together. Nothing that he won't do for me and my family. Amen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's different for everybody. And that's why when people are listening to these Steve Harvey 3-month rules, act like a lady, think like a man. Oh, if you give your number today, he won't do this, whatever. No, your person is going to be your person. And it's just, you just know. And that's why I feel that dating as we get older is easier. We just overcomplicate it. It's like, and so just use that discernment and be willing to keep it moving. Date somebody different every night if you want to. You know what I mean? Get to know people. And when it's that person, it's going to click.
Okay.
And just because, a person attends church does not mean they have godly ways.
True.
There's plenty of people that
Most
have
definitely.
was raised to go to church, but then where were they Saturday, Friday night?
Right.
Can't be
Robin the Garden
required
said
to
he
do
walked
it.
in the wildfire, and then LGG says men are spoiled nowadays. Do you guys agree with that?
These younger men, yes.
You don't think the older men are spoiled?
Okay.
Huh.
No.
Yeah.
My wife's so spoiled. I spoil my wife so much. Even her family. When we was at Mother's Day, she didn't tell me about a basket they were having, because I was wondering why everybody's wearing certain colors. And as soon as I found out she needed a basket with the yellow colors, I went to buy her a basket real quick. And they was like, "Dang, you just found about it in like less than 10 minutes. You went and put the basket together, made it look good and all that." And she spoiled. Like it's a certain type of man.
Yeah,
Okay, but
mine is spoiled also, bro. Mine is spoiled completely.
But
Worse
they
than
would
it's
probably
worse than a child. She is
I know.
spoiled.
see how they just flipped it on the women? The question was, do you think men are spoiled?
Right. But I'm saying so you're both saying your wives are spoiled, but don't you get that same treatment in return? Wouldn't your wife?
No, no,
No, I don't.
no.
I'm telling you, watch this. When Father's Day is Sunday, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna show y'all what I got for Father's Day. Mother's Day?
It's not about-
it was all out for Mother's Day. Hair
Okay.
done,
That
nails
is a
done,
lot of
toes
men's
done.
story.
I just got this in the mail
Clothes.
yesterday
Papa.
from my daughter in Alabama. And this is all I'm gonna get. Watch. That's
You
all
got
I'm
to
looking
What's on
acknowledge
the
me.
inside? It's not possessional things.
Right.
No,
It
but
ain't
it
gotta
does
be.
need to go
It
both
ain't
ways.
it
Not
ain't
in
possessional things, but it's always money coming out my pocket.
Yeah.
And they
And I
happy.
do feel like as women, a lot of times that is where we fall short. Like we feel like the wedding anniversary is just about us. Valentine's Day is just about us. Mother's Day and Father's Day. No, I think it should go both ways. And Wallace will tell you,
Yep.
I go all out for him on Father's Day, for his birthday, all of that, because the holidays are for both of us. We both work hard. And like for our anniversary, we usually don't even get each other gifts because it's both of our anniversaries. So we go out, we travel, we do something together. And so I do think a lot of times that's where women can fall short by thinking that men don't care or they don't need or they're not into that, because they might not say anything, but they notice it. And that's where they start realizing, okay, well, I'm giving and I'm not getting in return. Like there's nothing wrong when you're dating. Like once you've been on like your third date or so, women pick up the tab every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like when Wallace and I were dating, if I picked a restaurant, if I said I wanted to go somewhere, I paid for it and it's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Again, we got hella questions and we got people in the back. But I do agree with that, Stay. I do agree 100%. Like, we do. I agree. Sorry, I just got like trying to keep up with everything going on in this chat. I knew it was going to be popping like this.
Mhm.
A lot of people want somebody beyond their means. That's a lot of truth in that. If you don't give a person your number, how will you arrange seeing them again? And then we have I am Betty J. Gathers.
Girl. Oh no, we got to back
Well,
up.
hello.
Here.
Hi.
Hey, Miss Betty.
Girl, I got putting on my makeup and stuff. Y'all know I don't never come up here. But I got to say one thing that I'm going to leave.
Okay.
I can dress the way I want to dress. I still wear leggings. When I got my husband, I was wearing leggings, short dresses. I was doing it all. And we still married. He loves sexiness. I just wanted to say that.
They ain't had no leggings back in your day. Stop that now.
Wow.
We the same age. We the same age.
I was showing my butt. We were wearing minis up our butts. We're shorter than the women now. Do you remember? Do you remember? We were showing our behinds.
Yes,
our literally behinds.
Yeah, a few of y'all got me like that, but
I'm
I didn't
sorry,
let you
Miss
keep me.
T, but I just had to come up and say, because I don't think women should change their way of dress.
That's how I'm feeling about the dressing comment, because like I dress the way I dress because that's where I'm comfortable.
And I love the way you dress. They tell me the way. Go ahead.
But you ain't looking for her. You ain't looking for her.
I was like that when I found my husband. Guess where I found him at?
LG said most
with
men
my
play
butt
mental
out.
games.
Okay.
I think men and women play the mental game. It's not just men.
Right.
But everybody's different. Just like say, the woman that you're looking for probably was not me. You know what I mean? So all of us are different. You know, stay husband, like she say, maybe we don't want her. I love my husband 30 some years. And another thing he said right about Father's Day, I'm gonna give you that. Us women do lack on that. We do. Okay. I'll give you that. I'm getting better though.
How do y'all feel about?
I am a spoiled wife. I'm a spoiled wife.
That works for y'all. D dropping them dimes said reality changes love. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get on back off of here, y'all. But I just wanted to come on here with the dress though.
Bye, boo boo.
Bye.
This thing called love.
Reality changed a little bit. It all depends on your mindset. Like Stay was saying, a good valuable man is all determined.
He in the truck.
Android, come back.
Can y'all hear me?
Okay, a little bit.
No, somebody called me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it depends on your value. So if you're looking for a good man, you have to have good values to find somebody that has a good value. Because if you out here ratchet, ratchet people gonna find you. Like, oh, I don't want him. You know, sometimes you attract them, and sometimes it could be you in a perfect situation, perfect mindset, And it's just the universe is just pushing bad after bad after bad upon you. Like I told my wife, I said, before you marry me, you was dealing with your relationship and then your baby daddy. I said at the same time, I said, you are a wonderful woman. That's the only reason I married you. I look past your crazy baby daddy. But at the same time, you're a wonderful woman. You got caught in a season to where people just surrounding you with so much chaos and you fell in the trap.
Okay. Block works wonders. I agree with that.
Mhm.
Oh, can I say something about the Father's Day thing too? It's real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So Father's Day, two things happen. It's gonna be funny. So one year for Father's Day, my wife was like, "Yeah, it's Father's Day." I had a big old Mother's Day dinner. I took her shopping, gave her about $500 and all that. Father's Day came. Yeah, we gonna get you something. They went to church. I had stayed home because I was cleaning up, doing some things, and they came back. Oh, we forgot to get your Father's Day gift. They literally went to the store to buy some stuff. Her and my twins. They bought stuff for themselves, went out to eat, and then came home. And I was like, "Y'all missing something?" They were like, "Missing what?" I said, "What my Father's Day gift y'all want to go get?" Oh, we forgot. I'm talking about every single one of them had a bag of clothes, some shoes, and forgot
Yeah.
my gift. You know, the one thing I still got for Father's Day, my son gave to me when he was 6 or 5 years old. He gave me a happy Grandpa Day for Father's Day because
Yeah.
he was sick, so he just seen a pen that
See, I
said
feel you.
number one Grandpa.
I feel
Uh,
you. I
uh,
feel you feel some type of way about
uh,
Father's Day because you keep
uh,
bringing it back up.
uh,
I do.
she,
I
she
really do.
said, I mean, she we here. Listen to this. I put it this way, and this is just concerning the fathers. This even derogatory profanity and everything. They call y'all women some of everything in the book. Now, just in your mind, count up on your hand the bad name that they call the men using profanity.
Mm.
You won't
Uh,
find none.
Almost homestead when Jenny said, "I just don't see the part in playing games. We are grown folk. Can we just date like it?" You would think it was that easy, but the dating pool now, no, it ain't that
Dating is a game.
getting a number is something totally different from a woman being easy. Real men know the difference.
Mhm.
Exactly.
True. And they're gonna play on that.
Mm. That's why I'm asking the vetting process.
Somebody just looking for somewhere to get out of the rain for 1 or 2 days. After that, they gone.
So now what is appreciating all this information? She wants to know more about how to go about the vetting process.
I
Getting the
think
people out
for
the
the
water.
vetting process, a big part of it is sometimes, like I was saying early, it doesn't have to be a long process. You have to trust your gut. You have to trust your instinct. You have to trust your vibes. Stop ignoring those red flags in the very beginning. Stop thinking that you can learn to deal with stuff that you know daggone well you're not going to deal with. Definitely don't think you can change anybody, because as much as we meet people's representatives, I definitely agree with that sheet. There's still going to be some things in the first couple of conversations that are either going to make you think that this is somebody who's worth my time, or there's things that's going to make you cause for pause or question. And take those pause and question times seriously, but don't wait too long, because the older you get, the more you don't see the representative, because people are comfortable in who they are, and people are being who they are. People are set in their ways. And so I just feel like we need to date more and quit wasting months and years in our time trying to vet people once we get to a certain age. If things aren't working right in those first couple of weeks, keep it moving. You too grown
That's
for
it.
that.
Okay, we got Tampa here saying she is seriously afraid to start dating these days. Mm.
But you have to look at dating as just fun, getting to know people, getting to know yourself. And again, if you don't waste a lot of time on it, it's almost like a hobby until you find that right person. I mean, when I was dating a little bit, when I was single, there's some people I only talked to one time. There's some people I only talked to 3 times. Maybe we went out once. There's some people we never even made it to going out, and that's okay. Don't think just because you met somebody and they're interested in you that you owe them a date, that you owe them constant conversations. If you ain't feeling them, keep it moving, and you don't have anything to lose. But don't waste your time on a whole lot of vetting. Trust your gut.
Okay. David said the biggest problem with men is that they are scared to approach women because of today's society. I can agree with that as well.
That's true.
Let's see. Hey, Miss T, you didn't give. Yeah. Until next time, have a great day from Bacon. That name is funny. We know quicker. What do you know quicker?
I think he means the older we get. And the thing is, too, women, we do have to show our softer side because we can be intimidated. Society has forced us to be extremely independent. But a lot of times men want to feel needed. So if you're like coming to the table, like, I don't need you to do this, I don't need you to do that, then they're like, well, what do you need me for? And so we have to learn how to be independent and soft at the same time. Even though you can do it, let him do it. Listen to him. Pay attention. Let a man be what a man needs to be, because men are very simple. The one thing that men need is they want to feel like they are needed for something. They don't want this super, independent woman. There's nothing wrong with being the damsel in distress every once in a while.
That's my downfall. I don't know how to.
Right.
Right. Don't be sweet because you got a flat on the side of the road, and then you want to be all gentle and sweet and all. No, fix it yourself.
Let's see. I think about it sometimes when I was looking,
Okay, Jigs.
available. But when I would go to, if I'm going to the grocery store, or I'm focused on what I'm there for. I'm not just, nonchalantly just walking around trying to be look cute, and I'm focused. So my focused face doesn't look approachable, because I am, going to do whatever I need to do. And so maybe I don't seem like I'm approachable because I'm not, looking for.
Don't worry about that, right?
Yeah. So.
But the thing to this, you might have that business face, but when the right one approach you, all 59 of your teeth showing.
Wow. Hey, Auntie Dale.
Hey, Aunt Dale. How you doing?
Yeah, there's a difference in being, playing hard to get or being serious or whatever, and just not being approachable. Like, there's nothing wrong with smiling and waving or whatever. I mean, it's just being approachable. That's all. And I mean, and a lot of times, because I definitely have what they call the resting bee face as well. And that was one of the first things Wallace said to me, why you always looking so mean? So I definitely get that.
Yeah.
But is how we respond to that, though. So he said it to me, and so I didn't respond. Like, a lot of women will be like, what you talking about? I don't look mean, or what I need to smile for. I just laughed and was like, oh my gosh, I'm not mean. I didn't realize I was looking like that. And so that's the thing. Even when they approach you, don't always be ready with the snappy comeback. Don't always ready to be on the defense, because that was just their way of breaking the ice.
Okay. So D dropping dimes is saying, okay, y'all were talking about being spoiled men that are married, but what about the single men? Are you talking about
men are spoiled? How? Married men ain't spoiled.
Oh my goodness. My husband is J3.
I want to add some context to a lot of that, because some of the men, they're not really spoiled. It's to the point where some men are starting to say, well, I'm going into the relationship. I'm dating women, because a lot of young women, they making it harder for the older women and the more mature women, because this whole list of places not to go. I'm like, if I'm getting to know you, it's okay if I take you to a restaurant. I'm not taking you no McDonald's. But I mean, just like, you don't want to go to Red Lobster. You don't want to go to, like, even the Chili's. I mean, you can say, okay, well, he took me to this date at first. Granted, you have the conversation. This is okay for a first date, but you can have that conversation. Are we going to go somewhere better than this? Or are we going to do this? Because you got to understand.
The communication part. Like,
yeah.
when we talk, I'll be like, okay, you want to go out? Like, where are we going?
Right.
Yeah. One time, I
Mhm.
mean, they have the opportunity to say no. I'm gonna say yes because I ain't picky. I can find something off
Also,
somebody's
there's
menu.
nothing wrong with a first date being Starbucks. There's nothing wrong
Right.
with a first date just being going out for dessert. Because again, once you get older, I feel like you're dating. So this man might be taking out a different woman every night of the week until he finds that one. So why he got to be spending $100 every single night? And just because he's taking you to Starbucks or taking you to Dairy Queen doesn't mean he doesn't have money. But another thing I tell people all the time is rich folks and wealthy folks don't become wealthy and rich from spending all their money.
Right.
They
That's
learn
right.
how to keep their money. So
Right.
you need to
That's
find
right.
out their character. It's not, you can't impress me with a restaurant because you take me to a five-star restaurant and you talking smack. All I had was a good meal. So I'd rather sit down over a Starbucks and have a real conversation and just go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
And well, I'll throw a little piece in there. There was somebody that had a show before, and they were saying, "Oh, I'm not going to Dairy Queen. I'm not going to Applesby." Well, as far as I'm concerned, if you don't want to go someplace like that, you don't need to eat at all. Bye.
But and a lot of times it gets misunderstood. So the man is paying for it, and what if his budget is not that big, or in general, personally, you shouldn't be dating if you ain't got no money going to date. Personally, in my opinion, as a man, you shouldn't be dating. You need to go back to the drawing board, make a little more money. But at the same time, if your budget isn't up there, just say it. I mean, let a woman know, like, hey, this season right here, it ain't paying like it used to.
I can
So
only speak for me, and
And,
money doesn't impress me.
and I'm speaking about my
You know,
wife.
gifts doesn't impress me, and money doesn't impress me. I like a person that's more creative and think outside the box. Think of a creative way to have a good time, and it doesn't cost anything. I think that takes more, knowledge to do that.
Okay,
You're,
so D,
you're a few years too late, CC.
Huh?
why should a
You're a
man
few
pay?
years too late.
Huh?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I'm already I'm already taken. But anyway,
Why should the man pay nowadays for the first date?
They don't have to.
because they don't have to. But the thing to it is, let's be realistically. If you're gonna take a girl out and you're trying to get this as your girlfriend, as your wife, or whatever, you should pay. But if you can't pay, you should also let it be known.
Yeah.
Now, I
As
took
a,
my wife out
as a
when
woman
I
never
met
paid on the first date, I'm asking everybody in the comment section.
when I
I
took my wife out for the very first time. We talked and everything. I asked where you want to go eat. I said, there's this little spot in Hinesville. I was a soldier at the time. I said, there's this little spot in Hinesville. Let's go here, such and such. I said, okay. And we got the menu and everything. We ordered the food. She didn't know what she wanted ordered. So I said, all right, I'll just order this right here. It was a seafood buffet. So they brought the whole stuff out and put it on the table. And she gonna say, I don't eat seafood. Now you gonna tell me after the food was delivered?
Mhm.
I sat right there and enjoyed myself eating seafood, and she ate some dessert or whatever.
but see,
Tampa says she don't feel sexy. She's too old to dress sexy. I mean, hell, I found people just wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. Like
Yeah.
Cece said, I'm minding my own business.
Right. And
But
I
I'm
mean,
just saying,
men,
when I do put on
you don't
clothes,
have to
yeah.
be in short skirts and everything else.
Right.
If a man find you attractive, he'll find you attractive regardless of what you're wearing.
Right. Just like when you made the video with your granddaughter. Then blue jeans and that shoot, you were popping.
Right.
Let me tell y'all something about this dressing. So my husband, as y'all know, is a minister. He was a pastor of a church. My husband loved the way I dressed. I wore, pencil skirts, stiletto heels, whatever. That's part of what attracted him to me. So when he was pastoring the church, he knew that some people might feel like I didn't dress appropriately for a first lady. They want you in stockings and dresses
True.
down to your ankles and all that. He stood up from the pulpit to let them know, this is my wife. This is how she dresses. She never gonna have on a big hat. She ain't putting on no stockings, and she gonna wear pencil skirts and stiletto heels.
I
That's
think
my
you look cute with
that's
the
what
big
I
hat.
like. That's what attracted me. And so I don't want to hear anything about it. So it definitely is up to whatever they're attracted to. And so he didn't want me to stop dressing that way because now I'm a first lady, because he didn't meet me dressing in a full garb to my ankle. So it's all up to whatever. That's why I say it's when you meet that person, certain things aren't going to matter because that's what attracts them to you. So everybody doesn't like the tight clothes. Everybody doesn't like the baggy clothes. That's why you find who's for you, and they're not going to try to change you.
Right.
I mean, CC, stay. I think
Me and Wallace might be twins. Me and Wallace might be twins.
I like the hats. Yeah, y'all might be, Jigs. I think y'all at least second cousins.
Yeah, Wallace definitely my half brother. Yeah, we talk a lot. He my half brother.
Get ready to go.
Especially on Tuesday when we had that talk. Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
Well, I'm talking about the ministry part. We might be brothers.
David Corey stating most people don't know what dating is. Can you talk on it?
Well, to me, like I said, a lot of times, especially in these days, a lot of the terms get misconstrued with what dating is and all that. So I see definitely what you're saying, David Corey. In my opinion, dating is like what they would call the old school courting. It is that period of time where we are making that decision as to whether or not we're going to be exclusive. So you can be dating multiple people, determining when that dating is then going to turn into a relationship. So dating is that vetting process. Dating is that spending time together. And I believe once you stop dating and you become exclusive, then you begin what we would call the courtship. And so now we're building on this relationship. We've kind of let everybody else go and we've moved on. And that's the thing. We can't skip steps. You don't have to let the steps don't have to take you 3 years to get through the process, but you have to be clear. Are we exclusive? Are we dating other people? Are we in a relationship? Are we, whatever that relationship is, you have to be clear, and both people need to agree on what that is, because sometimes it happens where people think just because this guy is calling me every other day and we go out twice a week, they automatically assume we're in a relationship. No, you're just dating. You're just getting to know each other. So you have to have those conversations to move you to those next levels.
That's it. Simple term, David. Dating is nothing more than y'all learning each other.
All right. South Florida Sunside said the rules, dating rules have changed from generation to generation, so it's difficult. Things don't work out with my husband. I miss J3 generation of men of dating. Okay.
It's a society standard, and I'll say this a lot because society puts a standard on how we should react, how we should do things. It's like other people are writing a blueprint for our lives, and all we have to do is follow it. A lot of times, I told you, when I got married, all my friends were saying no, no, no. My uncle, my cousin who was married, he ended up getting a divorce, and I would have thought he was one of the ones would have told me, man, don't get married. He was one of the ones that said, hey, man, that's a good woman. Stop hanging out with your boys, going kicking it with them, and go pay more attention to her because, she has a lot of good values. He's like, take the kids out and look at her, and then put the kids back in. She's still a good woman. Like a lot of guys trying to put a stereotype on women with kids. I'm like, if you a good man, you know the value. It ain't even the point of a real man. Got it. If you a good, decent man, you know the value of a woman. So going into those relationships, you will understand and have some type of real feeling that this would be the one. A lot of times the standards that we have now is all from what everybody else is saying. Hey man, don't date women with kids. Why? They can say, well, you're taking care of another man this and take care of another man that. But do you feel that way? See, I'm not going to go off of everybody else's standard. I'm going off my own standard. If I like this woman and she's a good woman, hey, that's what I want to do. I'm not going to go by everybody else's standard.
Okay, so David Corey said he's cool with being alone and single. I'm happy with me. You gonna keep all that Texas energy, all that watermelon knowledge just to yourself? You ain't gonna share that with a mate?
But if he sees some bare feet, it's kind of going out the door.
I have the resting bee typing face or space cadet face on my lives. Okay. But I try to smile all the time because most people are stressed. That's good. I try to smile a lot too. And if you're smiling all the time, then the question is why? What are you smiling about? You can't win.
I can't smile
I
all the
get that a
time.
lot, believe it or
If
not.
I smile all the time, it'll get me in trouble.
Uh, my wife keeps me spoiled. Spoiled
Oh,
or loved? Is the question.
That's it right there, sunshine.
well, my wife is spoiled and loved.
Her and her handyman.
Handyman is rotten. Oh, you might need to get a new handyman.
Okay, Lisa J said define spoiled.
Okay, I'll define spoiled for you because I got a little headache. Oh, baby, just go sit down somewhere. I got it. Uh, what you want to eat? Uh, what you feel like doing today? What's this? What's that? She got a paycheck, but then I'm still giving her money. Hey,
Spoiled, okay.
yeah,
Hello,
spoiled.
Asia Howard. She
She's
said the first
spoiled
day,
rotten, but that's mine.
first day should definitely be casual. Nothing. I don't know. I agree with that. I will take a casual day. I know some people like the $200-300. We talked about that before, but I'm cool going to Applebee's or something because it's not about the date, like Cece said. It's just getting to know each other.
And realistically speaking about dating, for some reason, men have the idea now: if I spend $100 on you, you giving up
Exactly.
something. You
Exactly.
giving up
I've been on
something.
one of those type of dates where we went to like Ruth Chris. Well, yeah, Ocean Prime. Went to Ocean Prime, spent $200-300, and he's expecting something. I didn't ask you to
Right.
take me to Ocean Prime. This is where you wanted to go. This was.
And realist, and like I said, you got a whole bunch of women on here telling, I ain't going to McDonald's, I ain't going to Burger King, I ain't going to shut up. You getting a free meal. Go and learn him.
Not shut up though.
You know what? Wallace shared with me one lady that he was dating when Wallace and I was just friends. And he picked up on real quick that when he would talk to her throughout the week and stuff and what she was eating, she would say, oh, yeah, I just picked up some Burger King or went to Chick-fil-A or whatever. But then every time Wallace, one of his favorite restaurants is Chili's. But if he would mention Chili's, she was like, Chili's? I don't want to go to no Chili's. And he like, you eating fast food 3-4 days out of the week, but when I'm taking you out, it got to be somewhere 5-star. And that's the kind of stuff, and that was just a turnoff for him. Not like he couldn't do it, but the point was you're not willing to even spend that or do that for yourself. So all I am evidently is your meal ticket to the 5-star restaurants. And that's the kind of stuff we have to remember. And one thing I learned, if y'all watch that movie, Why Did I Get Married? That 80-20 rule, that's real. That's real. You cannot expect anybody to check 100% of the boxes, and you also cannot expect to be happy 100% of the time. It's just there's no perfection. But as women, again, we have to realize that the relationships are going to be give and take, and quit just going after these men for what you can get because it's not fair.
All right, that's not. Yeah.
And I'd be sick if mine was to leave me right now. I'm talking about passing. I'm not just going to go jump on the first thing that shake a tail feather. I still got qualities. I want something that I can invest in, not something that just look good for the moment.
So old dog said he wouldn't date a woman showing off everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's your preference. That's cool. Like I don't know. I feel like if I'm like certain clothes I don't feel comfortable in, just because it's like long sleeve and stuff like that. That's just not me.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's your preference. I respect that, old dog.
As I said, I had a beautiful young lady in Chicago back when I was in the military, and my thing, I told her I don't like makeup, I don't like and she really didn't wear all that stuff, but she sent me a picture and she had black lipstick on. I call her, hey, we done, click. That's it.
J3.
Yes.
Wallace wants you to know he from Collins, Georgia, so y'all probably are twins.
Oh, you from Collins?
Yeah,
Oh,
well, his family's from Collins. He's born and raised here, but a lot of his dad's family is from
okay.
Collins, Georgia, and she definitely got the half brother spot.
Shoot, that ain't nothing but 5 minutes up the road.
Cece, I agree with you. I'm not in the flowers or gifts. I'm in the quality time, says Diva in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, she.
Yeah. A lot of times people put more value on the monetary things in the relationship. Like, it was simple things that I did with my wife made a big difference because I would hear things that she liked, her music style, and like, just colors. My wife, she dressed very casual. And so one day I ended up buying her some shoes. I bought, because she wear a lot of costume jewelry. She used to sell jewelry and stuff. So I bought her like a ring to match her shoes, a shirt to match. And she wore it one day, and everybody was like, "Why you dressing so like sporty? You normally dress casual with your flats or your heels, nice dress or something like that." And when she told her that her family that I bought it, they was shocked. They was like, "He bought the whole outfit? Did he?" I knew her size. I knew her ring size because I would do stuff like that. When I proposed to her and everything, I would take her to jewelry stores like I'm buying me jewelry. She never seen me wear jewelry a day in my life, probably a watch or two. But the moment she got her ring, she was like, "How did you know the size?" I was always trying costume jewelry, like, try this. This thing look ugly. Let me see how it look on your finger. I would do stuff like that when I was trying to get her ring size because I was ready to propose to her. But my thing of it was, the whole you should get to know each other for a while. My cousin one was like, "Man, you can marry her in 2 days if you want to. It's on you." I was like, "I thought you had to do like a year or two, 5 years or something."
You know what? I appreciate what you said, bro. Even after getting married, I used to buy my wife clothes. She bought her own clothes, but I used to buy clothes. I even bought her undergarments and stuff. I go buy it. And this is
Yeah.
even after we were married. And hey, I just bought stuff that I figured I would love to see her in too. I would buy it. She wear it. She look good in it.
Mm. David said, if a woman asked me how much money I make, then there wasn't going to be no another date. Okay, why are you in his pockets?
And see,
Because she
women
won't
could
pay no
ask.
trust.
Women could ask without asking. They could say,
Right.
"Well, what do you do?" Like, "Oh, I'm a truck driver." "Oh, okay. So truck drivers make roughly around this, so I can know." Or you can be a little more personal, like, "Man, your car note must be expensive." I mean, it's ways around it that people can do, but you being bluntly direct, saying how much money is in your 401k, and like, no, gold
You
digger
know what?
situation.
My
You know what the
question would
whole
be,
case is.
how much are you in debt? How much you owing people?
Yeah,
Do you
that's
got a gambling problem?
That's a good one.
All those kind of things. So it doesn't matter if you make a lot of money if you losing it all the time.
True.
Well, I know for I knew what Wallace did. So like she said, I had an idea of what he probably made or whatever. I saw where he lived and things like that. But when our relationship got serious, one thing that really impressed me is that he called me over to his house to literally have a meeting where he pulled out everything, showed me everything. This is what I make. This is what's in my savings account. This is how much I pay in child support. This is what my 401k is. He was like, because before we go to the next step, I want you to see everything. Here's my credit score. And I had never had that happen before at all in a relationship. And it was like, why are you showing? And he was like, because I just want you to know everything before we take it to the next level. And he said, and you can share yours with me or not, but as a man, I just feel like you need to know this. And I was like, that really impressed me. And he was just like, so you can like take it or leave it.
So he knew he had you straight off the bat.
uh-huh.
That's the only reason you got all that information, because he knew you was his.
Right. And we were together, I guess, about, 6 to 8 months, because Wallace and I didn't date a long time. We dated for about a year and a half before we were married, so
That's too long.
time. But and again, and it was mainly me having, my kids. And I think it's a little different when you have kids. Sometimes you might move a little bit slower, but we knew what our intentions were. But yeah, he laid that all out for me, and I never expected that.
What up, Rice 320 and Bud Files? Welcome in, welcome in. The dating game in the 30s and 40s. Let's see. Jigs
You
ain't
gotta
no
know
way
what you really
going over
want, though. That's
these. Some people are happy to go and make these. I know a friend, pretty much homeless, and like he found this girl that he liked, and yeah, he took her to the pantry. You know, some of them they feed you there, and that was the date, and they were both cool with it because you know that was in they that's what they could afford.
I don't mind
Hey.
it.
Okay.
I can afford better, but I like it.
It's
Don't
just
worry, right? If
and
I was in that mode right now, I wouldn't take you to McDonald's because ain't nothing real about that but the coffee and the apple pie.
you sure that apple pie good?
circumstances aren't
Now the apple pies are iffy, but the coffee is okay.
Yeah.
What were you trying to say, CC?
No, I was just saying about McDonald's.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Don't
we
feel
do
bad.
have to
That's
learn to look past the circumstances. I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago who had been dating a guy who is retired. And so he's on quote unquote a fixed income. And he is, you know, relatively young to be retired. He's only like 56, 60 years old, but he just has no desire to go back into the workforce. But what he has is supporting him. But he's very good to her. They have great conversation. He likes to do a lot of things, but she makes substantially more money than him. And she was letting that be a determining factor as to whether or not they could be together. And I'm like, you're already supporting yourself. You have your home, you have your car. It's not like he doesn't have any income. Why would you let that deter it? And so when we got down to the brass tacks of it all, she was really more concerned about what other people were going to think because he doesn't work. He's getting his retirement or whatever. But that was his choice. And so that means at one point he did work and he worked long enough to draw a retirement. So you just worried about what it's going to look like because you're going off to work every day and he's not working. And that's not what a relationship is.
Right.
Okay, so Bryce just came in and he's saying that dating is like a job interview nowadays. Folks calling each other investments. Yes, sad but true. And then Sunshine says she missed the 80-20. Well, I missed what the 80-20 is. I missed that movie. Also because I am ADHD.
It's Why Did I Get Married is the name of the movie. It has
okay.
Janet Jackson. It's a Tyler Perry movie. It's pretty good. There's Why Did I Get Married and then Why Did I Get Married Too. Pretty good movies.
Right.
But that was just something that stuck out to me.
And that's how a lot of women lose a good guy over off the appeal with everybody else gonna approve. Same thing. I talked to this woman. I actually got one of my friends. I got her out of a bad relationship like that. It was crazy.
I like this from LGGG. Once you help me in the garden, then we can take walks on the beach, hiking, mountains, fishing, all that stuff. You're gonna help me in this garden first. What's what you gonna do?
Shoot, that might be my number 2 right now. Shoot, working in the garden. Yeah, all right. Yeah, come on, girl.
Nobody takes anyone out because they want to. They take folks out with intentions. Let's see, that can be a red flag. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had intentions when I took my wife out. My intention was to make up my wife. Did I get any? Did I get that? Did I get any cake before we got married? Nope. I didn't get no
It's
cake
funny.
until after marriage.
That was your choice. That was your choice.
A girl, you just don't know me back then. Ah, shit.
Oh, so you didn't have a choice in that because she wasn't giving it. See what you're saying?
Let me see who else we got up in here. Okay, would you get back into a relationship with a 350 someone with a 350 credit score, repo overdraft? I would say no.
I would say yes.
Yeah,
first
I say it
thing out?
depends.
No, I would.
It depends on the individual. Everybody that has a bad credit score is not due to them because they're bad with money.
Exactly. Like a lot of things happen to people due to the coronavirus. People lost their
Yes.
jobs, lost their incomes. That doesn't mean that they can't build. I mean, some people have been divorced and just lost a lot of things in the divorce. So it's the reason behind it. Is it irresponsibility, or was it life circumstances that are out of your control? And are you willing to work on it? Because sometimes that's what they need that helpmate for, to help them
That's
get
it.
out of that debt and to help them do the things, because they just weren't knowledgeable. So circumstances play a big role in that.
Yes.
Welcome in Living Out Loud, the podcast. LGGG, no, not really. Welcome in Nancy B. the Scratcher. And I tell all the youngers, don't get mad when you get used, but you walk into a relationship with your wallet in one hand and your Johnson in the other. What did you expect? Okay. Hey, Living Out Loud.
Hey,
I'm gonna
I'm sorry.
Oh, my.
Good morning, y'all. Look, I just came in to derail the conversation like I always do. Y'all are talking about things that I'm really interested in, and I've been chatting it up in the chat, y'all. I don't know if that's a little different for me, but anyway, um, I just wanted to say thank you to J3. Uh, Look at what I got in the mail yesterday, y'all.
Did you hide it?
Oh,
I'm
look
not
at
hiding it.
you.
I'ma share it. I'm about to go up in this house. I'ma hook up some cornbread flapjacks, and I'ma post some of this here
Are you going to tell them it came from Jegs?
for the handyman.
Are you going to remove the label?
Okay, that's the
No,
question.
I'm not gonna remove. As a matter of
Oh,
fact, I'm gonna take a picture of it and make a video about it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna turn the camera on when I make them flapjacks and put this here honey on it. That's what I'm gonna do. That's
Oh,
how I'm living. Anyway, look, I
we want
asked
you
a
to be
question.
safe now. Be safe.
Look, the
okay.
handyman. Hey, son, the handyman. He's a gentleman, y'all. He's a straight up gentleman, and I'm so glad that I found him in my latter life relationships. Miss T,
Mm.
girl, it'll happen when it happens. Don't even sweat it. He'll come when you're not really looking for him. He'll come. He's coming. Don't you fret none. Now, what you got to do though, Miss T, is you got to be ready for him. I could not go into a classroom and teach until I went to school to learn how to teach. I had to get ready for it. You got to be ready for this relationship. Be yourself. Be your absolute self. The man who is for you loves how you are. Okay. Um, and you might want to soften up though. You're a little hard.
I am.
You're a little hard. You're a little rough around the edges. I'm gonna need you to work on your feminine. On your feminine. You don't have to be hard. You
Okay.
can be
I'm
soft.
working on her with her
But
soft skills.
you can be soft. You can just rest the right one. You can
Amen.
rest on his shoulders. You don't have to be hard. You don't have to be. It's not hard when it's.
Welcome in, Bougie. And
Mhm.
who's fixing the credit scores around here? With that, he got that 30 credit score. And yes, he said 30.
We need to know your credit score because we ain't trying to take care of you. Okay, we're trying to
Uh,
take care of you. We're not trying to
But let,
handle your
But I'm
no.
going to be kind of an
yeah,
advocate. And,
Miss T. Yeah, Miss T, I was hard when I met my. I'm gonna be honest with you because I was single for a long time, and I had children, so I had to be hard because there was no one else there to protect me and my children.
amen.
So I had to be hard. But when I met my husband, I had to learn how to, and he accepted me being hard. But once I met him, he helped me learn how to be a lot softer because he would say a lot of times, "Will you stop? I will do that. I let me take care of it." So it took him to help me, and yeah, now he spoils me rotten. But it took a minute. It took a minute. When you're by yourself for so long and you learn that you're the only person that you can depend on, yeah, you become a hard person. But don't completely cover and hide the soft side of you because it's there. And I promise you, when you show it, he might show up.
And another thing too with the dating, I noticed and from now listening to people and when I was dating, like carrying past relationships over into your new relationships, that automatically hurts you
Amen.
Mhm.
because you're putting fault on the last person, what they did to you, to this new person, and you'll never find the right one because you're so caught up on having that defense mechanism up for every single individual.
Exactly.
That's good, Steve.
Drop
That's
that
good.
old
So
baggage. Yeah.
now, what we ought to do is learn from those past relationships. Learn
Yeah.
what the red flags are. What are now red flags are not the same for everybody. What are the red flags? What are the things? What are your non-negotiables? And if you see that in that person,
Exactly. Not only red flags from them, you believe it or not, you yourself have red flags.
absolutely,
Why do I keep falling for this same type of dude? Those are your red flags that you need to change. You need to say, well, we're not going to do this time. Let's do something different. Because believe we do have red flags.
oh yeah,
I know I fell into
I
a few of my red flags,
I
but
literally had to tell one of my friends that her past relationship, this guy was doing the same thing, and she was just so on the defense, treating him wrong. And one day I just asked, I said, I ain't trying to be funny, but have you ever told him what happened in your last relationship, and you've been voicing your opinion about the way he's treating you now? She was like, no. I'm like, what is he, a magician or he a telekinesis? He know what you thinking? I said, if I don't know that me not putting the shoes at the front door triggers you, then I'm gonna keep doing it. But if I know if it triggers you, I know there's something I need to work on. There's something I don't need to do. I'm not a mind reader. You gotta talk to me. That's how relationships. The communication is a big thing. A lot of times, relationship lack.
you see,
Yeah.
and
And I
some
also think that you need to work on yourself before you do get involved with somebody, because if you
exactly.
don't really know who you are and what your values and what your standards and how you feel about things, then adding someone to it is not going to help, because you're still trying to figure yourself out and add a relationship in it.
I've talked with a lot of young women because, like I said, my husband and I do a lot of counseling. And here's the one thing I kept hearing, and that's something that really bothers me. Not with everyone, just with the ones I've dealt with. They kept saying, "I don't want to be by myself. I'm afraid to be by myself." To me, you have to learn how to be by yourself so you can like yourself.
Yeah.
No one
Mhm.
else is going to like you unless you like yourself. You have to learn about you, what you're going to put up with, what you're going to do before somebody else can like you. Because you believe it or not, that reflects. Believe it or not, just like you say, follow your gut. Guess what? A lot of men follow their gut. They look at you and say, "Oh, she dependent. I got her." The ones that's going to play you, they see that in you. That's not what you want to portray.
Okay. So Jamaica says never tell a man your past. I don't know about never.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Uh, a portion. There's a portion of your past you shouldn't tell.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say everything, but there's some things you should be opening up to. I wouldn't
Right.
say tell them how you did this and they did that, but there's certain little things that you need to open up about because you don't want nobody triggering you all the time. And like I
Hmm.
said, the simple thing is me walking in the house with muddy shoes or walking through the house. If that's triggering for you, I need to know so I can prevent myself from doing it.
Living out loud, Big Rooster said you looking like you over there in love. Is this true? Are you in love?
and you know what? You know what, Big Rooster? I'm doing it out loud.
Living out loud. The
Hey
I'm,
y'all,
lo-
sorry to interrupt,
I'm
but I'm gonna
loving.
jump down, Miss T. I have a meeting to prepare for, but I just wanted to thank you for letting me share the stage and the platform. And I will see y'all next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you,
All right,
girl.
you too. Have a great day.
It's almost time to eat,
Yeah.
so I appreciate
Uh-oh.
it.
I need
God
to drop.
dog it.
I need to drop the cash. I need to
Cece
drop
is
a
just
cash. I
dropping
think.
so many nuggets this morning.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Yes, she is. She said something, and I was about to say something, speak on it, and then I got distracted. Big Rooster, you distracted me.
Well, while you get back distracted in, Pepper Rookie says, should you point out your ex to your present lover? You spot him out somewhere like, oh, that's my ex over there. So,
Ah,
Not, not unless the situation actually presents itself.
Right,
Other than that, no.
right.
that might get kind of awkward because you're gonna be like, one week you're gonna be like, hey, and then the next week you'll be like, hey, and then a month later, hey, and then he gonna be like, dang girl.
Got a lot of X's.
I've run into my exes and they come up and speak, and I introduce them to who I'm
Don't
with
need to share.
immediately.
That's it.
So they understand, yes, I'm with him. So keep stepping. And then if I feel like the situation is such that I need to mention it to him, I will. Do you understand? Every situation is different. Sometimes you might see your ex with another woman. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I'm glad you with somebody else. So you
That's
don't
it.
have to bother me. But
Yeah, I
because
don't,
let me
I
tell you
don't think
something.
about those kinds
My
of things.
husband, it was so funny, and I think y'all get a kick out of it. It's so funny. I I
Mm.
pointed. My husband knew who my exes were because, well, my ex was because I have a child. But so I knew it, and we were in the same place. So the thing is, we were sitting there, and it was at my dad's 80th birthday, and he was sitting on the other side, and the ex was at the other end of the bench. Well, the funny thing was, I didn't know what was going on. I'm talking to my dad. Well, come to find out, the ex kept peeking at my husband. He kept leaning forward and peeking at my husband. And my silly husband, he said, I thought we was playing peekaboo. So every time I thought he was looking at me, I'd look over there at him and he'd turn his head real fast. I said, I see, that's foolishness right there. But sometimes you have to point them out so they know, because I'm not putting my husband in any kind of bad situation to where he feel like he have to defend me. You're going to know what's coming up beforehand. And sometimes you have to, like you said, some situations are warranted. Tell them, yes. You don't have to tell them what happened in the relationship, but sometimes you better point them out.
Yeah.
See exactly. It's not just that jump. Hold on. It's not just the men. Own your part in the relationships, good and the
Exactly.
bad.
Uh-huh.
If you don't own your past mistakes, they will never. Oh, they will follow into your new relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to get rid of that baggage. That's why I stayed by myself for so long before I met my husband. I was trying to get rid of baggage.
So anybody got anything else? It's almost that time anyway.
You see, I didn't tell you get a cookie and keep going.
Man, I want food.
Good morning.
Good morning, Grammy. How you
Hey,
doing?
Grammy.
Hey, Grammys.
I guess it's all right for you to get off. I got to get dressed and go running around anyway.
Yeah. But
Oh,
let
but
me
they doing
quickly
this live now.
Yeah. Let me
Ooh.
quickly say something. I had to drop out because life is life. So sometimes you have to drop out. Just a couple of things I want to say. When they were talking about how you dress, I believe you should dress however you want to dress. But here's the caveat to that. If you know every time you dress and you got everything hanging out, somebody gonna stop you, try and talk to you, try and hit on you, and blah blah blah. If you have a man, you need to consider that sometimes how you dress could put his life in danger. There have
Yes.
been men who have gotten killed because if you with that man and a person approaches you the wrong way, and they don't care if he's standing there and they just want to grab you and hug on you, all that other stuff, you're going to expect that man you are with to try to defend you. Well, guess what? You put the situation out there. There is a certain way you need to dress when you are with somebody. I'm not saying you got to cover up everything, but you got to make it where it's not so easy to draw so much attention from every man you pass. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There is classy and there is trashy.
Agreed.
You can be classy sexy and you can be trashy sexy. So you need to find the balance in there. And I don't have a problem with the way a lot of women dress. You know, I just know I can't do it.
I'm
The
not a
sand,
trash man.
and look, the sands have shifted, and when the sands shift, you dress accordingly.
That's
Somebody's
it.
outside with that good weather. Let me see.
You know
There it goes.
what? I
Mhm.
came up in the I was brought up in the church, and the the elders in the church were real sticklers about dress,
Yeah.
how a young woman should dress, how we should be. And I had a one of the elders who never talked to me about anything approach me because I was a middle teenager, maybe 14, 15. I had on maybe some I had on something that she didn't think I should have on. Now, I didn't say anything to this elder at that time because that's just not how we operated. But as an adult, I realized that she was out of order.
Mhm.
For one reason, I had a mother, and if my mother didn't have a problem with whatever it was she had a problem with, well, then it wasn't a problem. And if she didn't talk to me about anything ever, why did she think she could or she should say something to me about anything? And third, generations change. What is what I realize is what is acceptable to me is not acceptable to a generation coming up. They're different. They think different. They act differently. They're just very different. And I try not to judge. Now, the speaker just before said something about men approaching a woman and being out of order, out of pocket with her because of the way she's dressed. That's not her issue. That is his issue.
It's her.
He needs to be dealt with properly. And if the man that she's with doesn't deal with him properly, that is a problem.
Okay. So now what says I disagree respectably. I can dress however I want. That's a man's responsibility to use control, not my to use self-control, not mine. My
Absolutely.
character is always louder than what I have on, in my opinion. Okay.
Hmm.
That's the thing.
I agree.
You can dress the way you want, but that's the thing that puts that man at risk as well. Because I mean, we've all heard stories where men defend a woman's honor and get killed. You
Yeah.
know, it's not a man's intention to go out there and hurt somebody or kill them. But if you being approached a certain way, or somebody you're trying to react to somebody else's reaction, there's a hint of violence. That guy Kevin always said between men and women approach is different than men because men react with a threat of violence. With women, most men don't do that with women, and the ones that do that with women, it's consequences behind it.
See, I agree with Jones Truth and so now what like well I agree there's a difference between dressing sexy and trash and classy and things like that. And people have died trying to stand up for their woman and things like that. Um yeah, I don't know. I agree with both sides of this situation. Let me
You
see.
have to find the balance. There is a
Right.
balance. There is a balance. There's a balance to everything. You have to find the balance that you know works for you. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So yeah, you can dress, but still you can't control there is a certain amount of control you have over your environment and stuff. You really can't control other people. You can't control other people. You can't control how other people. You can only control yourself. That's why you do have a partial responsibility in how you dress and present yourself. That's
Mhm.
partly your responsibility. And then it's a part responsibility to the person that's approaching you. They have a responsibility too on how they behave. But here's the thing. Look, I understand that you can dress like a nun if you want to and still be approached by men. I understand that. I look, I was raised in the church. I was a choir director. I had on a red dress that was kind of big, slightly loose, came down to my knees with a coat with a little jacket over it. And I was sitting there, and guess what? The preacher from the pulpit was trying to hit on me. I didn't even notice it. And then it got so bad till everybody was noticing it. And it made me feel very uncomfortable. The dress came up to my neck. The collar was up to my neck. So yes, there is still a responsibility, but I had to learn how to shut it down. Because when he approached me, the first thing I told him, I was like, how are you doing too? How is your wife? So I shut him down. I do understand it doesn't really matter how you dress, but even now, so it's more dangerous. You also, like you said, the times are different. Y'all times is a lot more dangerous than ours was. So part of that falls into the realm of how you dress. So you still have to consider that. You can
Yeah.
only control yourself, but you also can't control the environment.
Right. Just a side note, I don't dress, like, oh, I need to find me a man, kind of, let me put this on. I dress because that's what I like.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And true.
Let me see.
You can dress with what you like, but then if you find somebody that's interested in you, you have to dress accordingly.
A woman has the right to dress as she
And see,
chooses.
the
In a
point
manner.
is not to try to change a woman's type of dress style.
Right.
It's just that, like even with a man, women always talk about the gray sweatpants thing. My wife tell me you don't need to be going out with certain clothes, trying to imprint or whatever like that, because you're you're kind of teasing women that way, and that's kind of approach that men look at from the women dressing a certain way. You're gonna get a lot of eyes. I'm not telling you not to wear a skirt, but if a skirt is too small, there's no reason for a man to hit a woman on the butt with a dress or nothing. But to the point of it is, if you got a skirt so tight and a halter top with yourself open up with your breasts, and men look at you as a lady of the night, you like, oh, don't approach me like that. It's not the point of him approaching you like that, but the point is, he looking at you like you dress like one of those type of women. So like the one guy, he said, a good woman dresses just like the bad women. So I don't know the difference between a good or a bad woman because y'all dress the same.
Okay. Oh. Then right. Well, I guess it's just Jay Jordan is live now, okay?
That's a shame, Miss T. Miss T, you got 150 something people in here, and you became one.
We got
CC,
2 more minutes. We got 2 more minutes. We got 2 more minutes.
Are you off today, CC?
Yes, girl. I'm actually finna
See?
fly out. I'm about to go out of state. So yeah. Yeah.
You and Boo got y'all traveling? That is nice.
I'm finna head to South Carolina. So meet up with some YouTubers.
Great.
You doing that barbecue thing you tell us about?
Yeah, I'm going to that. Yeah.
Okay, he always do. Always just dismiss me. Shout out to the 50+ people in here. We packing up to send her stuff off to school, and I gotta pack because we're gonna get a hotel out there. So I got things to do.
Sound like another excuse.
Hey, I'm hungry, so
okay, and I'm hungry. Not hungry, but hungry.
Some people are always eating on screen.
Yeah, it is 11 o'clock, ain't it?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a real quick question before you go, Miss T?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever lived alone?
For like 2 seconds.
Did you like it?
I did. It was 2 seconds.
Okay.
So long
Okay.
ago.
Yeah.
We'll take
Yeah.
the 99 2000.
Well,
Then
you
bam,
know
baby
what?
daddy. Huh?
You about to learn some things about yourself, whether you like living alone or
Yep.
whether you don't. I promise you, I was in my 40s, 50s. I don't know. I was old the first time I lived alone, and I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I loved it.
I gotta agree that I had 30 days that I was by myself when my daughter moved out and before I moved back home to my mom's. So that month was amazing. Just being by myself, sleeping in. I didn't have to tend to nobody, didn't have to worry about
Right.
what time she coming in. And yeah, it was great. So
You don't have to think about anybody
I
but
know.
yourself.
I don't know
Ain't
nothing about that. I don't
ain't
know.
But look,
nothing in the refrigerator but what you like to eat.
Wow.
Yes. And it's still there when you go to look for it.
Oh
right.
my gosh, it's still there
Okay.
when you go to use it. Oh my gosh.
My only alone
Ooh,
time now is when my husband has to go out of town, and my son is at work because my son has Asperger's, so he's still home. But when he goes to work, I have the whole day to myself. So that's my alone time. And guess what? I love it.
Oh,
Hmm.
Phil says living alone is lonely. And what
Yeah, yeah. But there's a difference between being alone and lonely.
hmm,
mhm.
It's that individual. Some people don't like being by themselves. And
right.
a lot of us, if you've lived with people for years, you
Hmm.
learn how to appreciate being by yourself.
Mhm. What's up, trending live
I
and
don't know
playing
that feeling.
travel? Please ask Cece where in South Carolina. I'm in South Carolina. Thank you, Miss T with the T.
Bougie, I will email you.
All
I'll
right.
email you my number.
And with that said, the rest of my
Mm.
Denny's is calling me. I
All
love
right,
y'all.
y'all. Thank you, Miss T, for letting me up. Spend some time with you this morning. All right, y'all.
You know,
Bye
no,
for
y'all
now.
be blessed. Y'all have a great day.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
Bye, Jigs.
Since
Cece.
you in a rush to go, Miss
Bye,
T.
Jigs.